Hello, everyone. Welcome. The Westport Country Playhouse would like to welcome you to Coffee Break. My name is Jacob Santos. I am your host, and I'm also the managing director fellow here at the Playhouse. But actually, an announcement. It's actually my last week here as the managing director fellow here at the Playhouse. So this coming Wednesday will be my last day in this role here. It's been an amazing 12 months here. I've learned so much and it's been so great, but don't worry, I'm still your host of Coffee Break. So one role is ending, another role is continuing, but yes, welcome everyone to Coffee Break. This is the space where we talk to artists about their career, representation. We sit down and chat with people, and I am so excited for our guest today. Our guest is Sandra Marante, who you might know as Daniela from In the Heights. I think everyone knows here how obsessed I am with our 2019 production of In the Heights, so let's get her on here so we can start this discussion. All right, there we go. Whoop, nope, wrong person. Here we are. Hello,
Hi.
Sandra. How
Am
are
I
you?
upside down? Is it like
Yeah,
this?
you're right set up now. You're
Oh,
amazing.
great. Hi.
Awesome. Hey, it's so nice to meet you.
It's so nice to meet you. I'm
Yeah, of
excited to be here.
course. I'm excited to have you. So, first question,
Yeah.
how are you? How has quarantine been so far?
It's interesting. My husband is a New York City frontline physician, so it's been very stressful for him since end of February till now. Um, I was actually on contract when this started. I was in a different state, and one day we were in rehearsals and they were saying we have to go home. And I had to come home and meet my husband. Luckily, he's healthy, thank God, and he's safe. And, just trying to do the best I can at home. Doing some outreach stuff, working with a few different Latinx composers on new shows, which is really great. Shout out to Jesse Sanchez and Kayla Friend and Jaime Lozano,
Yes.
who are doing beautiful new music, and I'm really proud to be a part of their readings and stuff online.
Awesome. I'm so glad to hear that you and your husband have remained safe and healthy. And I think your
Yeah.
experience is like something a lot of artists and people like were thrown into during this experience where we were all
Yeah.
working on something and then like at the drop of a dime, it was just like go home. It's no longer safe to be outside. So
I
yeah,
know.
what you
I
experienced is like the experience of many people right now. Yeah.
It was surreal because like the whole world shut down. I don't think, I mean, even with 9/11, that was crazy, but this has been like another level.
Hmm.
It's been, and like my mom still lives in Miami and I miss her terribly, and I haven't seen her in like 3, 4 months, and we usually see each other once a month. So this has been super hard, but I'm
Hmm.
glad she's also still healthy too. So
Here we go. Awesome. Awesome. So, if you could tell me, what was
yeah.
your when did you first get into theater? Like, what has been your journey with theater?
What? That's a long, big story. Um, I'm gonna like do the condensed version.
Hmm.
So I started off in pop music. I was opening up for Pitbull when I was 14. I had different songs coming out in different countries, and I had just finished my CD almost ready. And then unfortunately, I was in a very bad accident. I got burned. My dress caught on fire at a restaurant, and I was in the hospital for about over a year. I had third degree burns on about 30-40% of my body. And so that demo deal, recording deal was gone. And I went into maybe going to college, try to get musically and classically trained. I started at New World School of the Arts for my college degree, and I went into opera. I know, total like shock. And I loved it. I loved the extravagantness of it all, the different languages that I had to learn. And I did pretty well in opera, and I got a scholarship to get my master's in Chicago. Then I was doing that. My second year of grad school, in the middle of rehearsal, Oh, I love my mom too. What's up? My second year of grad school in rehearsal, I had a grand mal seizure. And I was taken to the hospital, and they told me that I had a thing called an AVM in my brain, and it was a golf ball size. And an AVM is a tangled mass of arteries and veins. And you're kind of born with that. It's congenital, so you're born with it. Um, and or it's made during conceivement, I guess, I don't know. And it was pressing on memory, language, and music in my brain. And they were not sure if I was going to be able to sing or talk again. And I became like a big study at Northwestern. They had me do different functional MRIs to see how my brain functions music. And what it showed is, because I went into opera and I learned different languages, and because I knew I studied music, my brain was able to heal the part that they were going to have to take out and work in other places in my brain because of music and art. So it kills me whenever I see schools take it out, because that is what has helped me. And then after my brain surgery, craniotomy, when they took it out, I went back to school and I finished my opera degree in my master's 6 weeks after.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy. And then after that, I had auditioned for a festival that does both opera and musical theater. They were doing Man of La Mancha. I had
Okay.
no idea what that was,
Mm-hmm.
but I went in and I got the role of Aldonza, which was my first real show that I had like lines and dialogue separate from just music. And I fell in love with that kind of stage work as well as opera. So that happened, I think, 2.5 years ago. So I'm pretty new to musical theater. So every day I'm kind of like learning more and more. So
Wow.
that was kind of condensed, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
amazing. One, come through overcoming. Like, that's an
Yeah, thank
amazing
you.
story. And I
Thank
wouldn't
you.
know that, like, you're new to musical theater because when I saw you in the Heights, like, and let's get into that. Let's get into In the Heights.
Okay.
So, In the Heights, our 29th production here at the Westport Country Playhouse, you played Daniela in our
I'm
production.
racing.
And that experience for me, which I've told other people that I've talked to that have been the cast, was the first time I had ever seen Latinx people and characters in a musical on stage. That was the first time. So what was that experience like for you? And also, like, that was a major hit for the Playhouse, and also it really had
Really?
lasting impact in the community here. Like, a year out, we're still talking about it. So like, how was it to be in that production and to know that like it had such a lasting effect?
You know, In the Heights has this like special je ne sais quoi to it that like it just brings the community, the the people that see it and the people that are in it like to form as one. And I saw it, I think when they were doing the tour in Chicago, and I was taken aback because the abuela, that is my grandmother, that is my abuela, like that was her story. Like, I am Cuban, that was the story. I felt Nina because both of my parents are from other countries and came here and gave up everything for me.
Mhm.
And and I felt that pressure, and like that was the first time too that I saw a whole Latinx show. So I had always loved it, even when I was doing opera. And when I saw that all these shows, like when I was living in Connecticut and I saw that many companies were doing it, I just wanted to be a part of it, and I didn't know where I would fit. And I was just so happy and thrilled that I got to be a part of it multiple times, and especially at Westport.
Definitely. That's actually a really great transition to my next question. So you played Daniela at the Playhouse, but you've also played her in other productions at other theaters, right?
Yeah, yeah, I did it previously before, and it's what's so funny is I did it at a regional theater in Connecticut first at Playhouse and Park in Hartford. And the year before, Westport did it Westport did in the Heights. We had the Playhouse and Park crew came over to Westport the year before to do 96,000 for the Connecticut Critics Circle. And
Hmm.
I walked into Westport and I'm like, wow, this place is so cool and had so much history. And I'm like, I don't know if I'll ever sing here. Fast forward to like 8 months later, and I get to do it on the stage again. And it was just tremendous. And then right after doing it at Westport, we went, most of the cast and director from that worked at Westport, we did it at Broadway Sacramento in California, which was super cool.
Wow. And talk me through, what is that process like for you playing the same character again, but in a different production? So like when you go into the rehearsal process, do you throw everything out that you learned previously, or do you continue and build on top of that?
You know, it's a constant evolution with Daniela. Like for me, she is somebody who's a lot like myself, who comes off very direct, very in your face, and you don't know how to take her at first, but then you keep seeing that she has like this generosity inside of her that she'll give you the shirt off your back. And that's me too. Like I will do anything for anyone. Just, I sometimes have no filter. And I just, every time I work with Daniela, there's just so many more layers that come out of her. And I've also had three different Kailas, like my sidekick. And every time I'm with
Hmm.
someone new, the feed that you get from somebody else is just a different evolution of who she is and who she connects with. And for me, she's constantly a learning experience, because the more authentic I can kind of be of who I am myself, it makes Daniela even more real and genuine for me because she is so much like me. I don't know if that makes sense, but
That makes
yeah, that's
total
like,
sense. Awesome. Amazing. So you were also in our winter concert here at the Playhouse.
yes.
So I'm curious, how long did y'all have to rehearse that? Like, what was that rehearsal period?
I think we had 2 hours of music rehearsal one day, and then we just spaced it out before the show. Yeah, I think that's what we did.
Wow, that's okay.
So
So
basically, like, no time.
no time. Wow. I wouldn't have
Yeah.
been able to go. That was such a fun night. It was so amazing. And I forget what the song name was, but your solo number, what was it again?
Oh, I'm spending Hanukkah in Santa Monica. And David Dreyfus, he's the one that
Yes.
chose it for me. And I'm like, he gets me. So he let me act like a wild person on stage, and that was great.
Yeah, David Dreyfus is the Playhouse's production manager, and he is amazing. We love him. He really
Yes.
produced that entire concert. We stand.
Yes.
All right.
And he's the one that gave me that song, and I had never heard it before. And I took it upon myself and acted like a crazy person, and he loved it, and it was great, and it was so much fun. So I had a great time. And, Westport and David, everybody that works at Westport and is part of the casting, they have a great, like, gift to bringing like such good people together, because even though I didn't really know all the singers and performers in the concert, after like an hour of working together, we all like connected and became close, and we're still close now. Like we're all on each other's social media and we talk all the time. So it's been a great, like I said, Westport has a good gift of picking people.
Awesome. Awesome. So for anyone that's tuning in, welcome. This is Coffee Break. My name is Jacob Santos, and I'm speaking to Sandra Marante, who played Danielle in our
My
production. Marante, yes. And also she was in our winter concert. So now can I transition into now talking about representation, which is really
Sure.
interesting because the industry right now seems to be in this really vocal conversation about that. So it's a great, oh. Take that sip. So I wanted to know, what has the experience with casting been like for you? What challenges have you, and how can casting be more inclusive?
Well, that is a very good Miss America question. So
Mm.
let me start. um, let's see. What has my struggles been regarding casting? For me, um, I think it's an internal struggle more than anything sometimes. I am multicultural. Did I lose you? Is he
Mm-hmm.
frozen?
I can still hear you.
Yes? Hello?
I think we're back.
Okay, great. Yeah. Okay. So struggles regarding casting. I have a very internal struggle because I'm multicultural. My
Mm-hmm.
father was born and raised in Cuba. My mother is Hungarian and Jewish, born and raised in Hungary. So I always have like this feeling like I need to prove myself if I'm going for an audition that is a specific Latinx character, or if they're specifically wanting like a Jewish or Eurocentric character. I always feel like I have to do more than somebody else because my subjective look isn't exactly what some people think of or they have in their idea for that character. And maybe it's me more than them, but it's something I deal with going into a room when I know that when they've asked for a specific type of person with a background of Latinx or Jewish or Eurocentric or something like that. I think the industry could help us with making sure that they mix up the golden age shows where it's like Music Man or Oklahoma, like they did this past year with Oklahoma, which was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
um to all those golden age ones that are all American now is a huge melting pot. So I would
Yes.
love that Lori doesn't have to be an Oklahoma blonde blue-eyed girl, or in the
Mm-hmm.
Music Man it doesn't have to be all American looking, because if you meet your neighbors, they're Asian, they're Middle Eastern, they're Spanish, they're Black, and that's what America should be like. And that's something that I feel like the industry could really, really help us with, to show what America is now with some of the golden age shows.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I also feel like um, when it comes to like if they're very specific about a Latinx character or a Jewish, if they're doing like Fiddler on the Roof and they want like a Jewish character, that they make that very inclusive and make sure that whoever they're hiring, they don't go by just how they look, but knowing that that person has that background, not just being like,
Mm.
well, they kind of look this way. And that goes with the actors themselves when they walk in the room, if
Mm-hmm.
that makes sense. Like, go to the right show. If casting is completely open and honest with you, saying this is what we want, then leave it for those people. Because I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't go to a Color Purple audition,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
So or King and I, unless
Yeah.
it's Hannah, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, definitely. That makes so much sense, like you said, to not concentrate on the physical aspect, because I feel like that's limiting characters just to appearance, and characters and people themselves are so much more than our spirits. We are our histories, we are our cultures.
Yeah.
So like that has to be present in the casting process as well.
Yeah, and it comes from the actor themselves when they go for that part. And it's kind of like a two-way street. It's not just castings full on issue. It's like it's the actor themselves going in, and if like I want to go for a golden age and I want like the America that we are now, I'm going to go to that. But if they're going for a specific culture background and I am that, I want to go to that. But I don't expect a friend of mine who doesn't have that but thinks that they can pass to come, because I wouldn't do that for specific characters that I don't have any of that cultural background. So it's a little bit of both people. So I don't think everyone, it's not all castings. It's not all castings issue. We have to come together as one, both acting, casting, and we work together. That's what I think.
Awesome, exactly. We all have to move
Ooh,
forward together.
Rodolfo said facts. I appreciate you.
Hey! Awesome. So we have some questions actually from audience members. So if I can ask you some of those. Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. So Sam Brown would like to know, during the rehearsal process, which scene were you most excited to rehearse for In the Heights?
I think No Me Diga and Carnaval, because they're so much fun.
Yes.
And it's not because like they're my songs, but it's more just like they're so much fun to play and joke around and have fun with people. And it's just, and yeah, those were my favorites, especially Carnaval.
Yes, that was definitely a highlight for me as well.
Really? Yay.
Yeah. So also now Jeremy would like to know, what makes you so passionate about your career in theater?
Because I've worked so hard.
Yes.
Like I've almost died twice, and
Yeah.
I just I just want to give. I want to sing for everyone. I want them to know how much this means to me, and how, and it's not just me. I know every actor feels this way, but I just want to share this with you because I've worked so hard to be here, more than just like putting in the effort, but like everything. That's why.
Mhm. Definitely. I mean, that's a great answer. Like as we heard in your story, you've overcome so much, so definitely,
Thanks.
definitely.
Thank you.
And now Angie Palacios would like to know, who are your favorite playwrights slash composers, if you have any?
Ooh, is it just theater people or every?
It can be anyone.
Okay, so I love Mozart and Puccini. Um, the music composing wise is just everything. I definitely love, um, I'm like, I definitely love a lot of the Golden Age music. I don't necessarily love all the stories.
Mm-hmm.
I think they need to be a little bit like reworked.
Yeah,
But the music of Roger and Hammerstein, Lerner and Lowe, it's just so gorgeous. Um, I'm still learning a lot of the musical theater and playwrights as I go. Of course, I love Lin-Manuel and Alex Lacamoire and the orchestration that they have done. Like, hello. Um, Sondheim, what? Sondheim,
yes.
Sondheim is fantastic, and I wish people that were in the audience that weren't musicians to really understand the extreme complex compositions he makes with this beautiful wording, and Bernstein too. I mean, I could go on for hours, but yeah, those are the ones that I can pop out.
Definitely. And it's interesting you bring up Sondheim because, fun fact, Sondheim was actually an intern at the Playhouse like a long time ago.
No
Yeah, I was
way!
shook too when I found out. I was like, what? So yeah, he was
I'm
part of
today
our
years
intern
old. I
program.
did not know that.
Exactly,
Wow.
yeah. So this history, the Playhouse has been around for 89 years, so
I
whole
know.
of different people. So I was shook when I found that out. So for anyone watching, Sondheim was an intern at the Playhouse once upon a time. There we go.
Amazing.
And now Angie actually had another question that I'm going to ask you. So,
Yes.
what is your dream role to play, if you have one?
Oh, um, definitely Evita,
Yep.
like the biggest hero you hate and love.
Mhm.
But I would love to play her. I would love to play Elphaba. That would be fun because that character is something I connect with, like the black sheep sometimes, because I'm always coming out of nowhere from opera to music theater and stuff like that. I get her in a lot of ways. Yeah. Ooh. Ooh, and Carlotta and the Phantom, the diva. That would be fun. She would be a lot of fun. Yeah. I lost you, I think, or froze you.
Am I back? I think you did lose me for a second.
It's okay. Hi again.
I think I'm back. Am I back?
Sort of. I think so.
I got you. Awesome.
Froze again.
All right. Frozen images.
Frozen, by the way. Some people don't. You look great.
Cool. I think I'm back.
Yes.
Awesome. So one last question before I let you go. Is there
No, yeah.
anything you can recommend to anyone that you've been reading, watching, listening to during quarantine that you can recommend?
I think because of where we are in the economics and um, what we're dealing with Black Lives Matter, I think the best thing that I can say right now is for a lot of my friends and family and people joining us and watching right now who aren't Black, talk to them, learn, unlearn. This is the time where we can become one together more than anything. Be there for your Black community in the best way possible. There's so many things that I'm relearning right now too. So I don't want to necessarily say what to do, but I would say reach out to people right now and learn from others right now more than anything, if that makes
Yes,
sense.
that makes total sense. Thank you so much for saying that. Thank you so
Yeah, of
much for
course.
joining me. This was so amazing. It's so awesome. I love In the Heights so much. So this was like
Thank you.
amazing that
I've lost you again, but I know what you're saying in your
we're
frozenness.
back.
Yay!
Thank you. Thank you so much.
No,
Sandra,
thank
have a great
you.
day. Hope you hope you and your husband stay safe and healthy. Thank you so much again.
You too. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
That was amazing. Sandra, thank you so much. Like I was saying, In the Heights is such a special production to me. So like the fact that like I'm able to meet some of the cast members of that production is just like I could never have imagined it happening. So thank you so much for joining. And thank you for all of you for joining us for that conversation today. And thank you everyone who had questions. Make sure to join us next week on Thursday again, but we're going to be at a different time. We're going to be at 3:30. It's going to be a special edition. So thank you so much for everyone for joining. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you.